Boruto to Blue Vortex Chapter 25 shows Sarada and Sumire making up after their last talk, where it kind of felt like they were divided, you know what I mean? It felt like Sarada was able to, like, get her mind clouded by Sumire, you know? And then eventually coming to realize her feelings in the mission, finally being able to accept herself and realize all the parts of herself that she was, like, hiding, that she was keeping buried down, you know? The parts and the feelings that she kind of had for Boruto and the feelings that she has for Sumire, you know, friends and actually like being honest with each other, you know. And now they're able to come together and able to like talk to one another, being honest with each other, being able to say like, hey, this is how I really feel, this is who I really am, you know what I mean? And Sumire actually getting to like acknowledge all of Sarada, you know what I mean, in a way that I guess the others don't, you know what I mean? Who else does Sarada really have? They were in this together, you know, these past 3 years, they were the only two, it was only the two of them they could, like, really confide in each other. They could really, like, talk to one another about Boruto, about how the village has changed, how Naruto died, how Ada and Damon, and, like, how they're not affected by her charm ability and stuff. It's things like that that allow them the ability to kind of bond, to connect, you know? And over these past 3 years, they've been friends. And it's kind of like weird to hold back certain things from your best friend, you know? So now, the real girlhood comes together where they're able to like be like, hey, I like Boruto too. And now they're able to come together and be like, finally, you know, finally you admit it, you know what I mean? Like, they're able to be like, I like Boruto too, and then they like skip along holding each other's hands, and it's kind of nice to see them, one, be united, now that they can share information and like work together. But what in the near future, like, how's it going to look for their relationship, like, moving forward, you know what I mean? Like, right now, they're in a very good space, like, they're in a really nice place right now, but as things start to progress, and as we see later in this chapter, Boruto's taking some risky moves, you know what I mean? Like, these girls are bonding over having a crush on Boruto, and meanwhile Boruto's like, Momoshiki, you could possess my body, you could take all of it as long as, you know what I mean, as long as we defeat Jura. And it's like they're preoccupied, I guess, with the wrong things. I don't know. It's kind of funny to think about, like, it's kind of funny to think about, like, Sarada and Sumire, like, fighting for Boruto's affection and attention. And meanwhile, Boruto's like, I gotta kill this Shinju. I gotta revive Sasuke. I have to fight Kawaki, you know what I mean? I have to defeat Jura. I have to do all of these separate little issues. And right now, love is not on the menu, you know what I mean? So it's kind of funny to think about how they're focused on one thing, and Boruto is like, he's going to take some pretty drastic measures to defeat the real threat, you know, the real enemy. So it's all about figuring out how it all folds together and what may or may not go right and what may or may not go wrong, you know? So I'm really curious to see how these two's relationship will continue to change over the story, you know, over however many chapters we have left. I think that for right now, it's kind of like a nice, like, hey, we're working together, but we still have like a bit of a rivalry, if that makes sense, you know what I mean? I guess what I'm trying to say is that, like, I'm glad they're getting all of this like mushy, gushy, crushy stuff out of the way now. So that way, if it comes up later on, it feels a lot more like, oh, they've already covered this in another, you know what I mean? I feel like that's why they give it such a nice focus. And it's also why, like, it establishes that Sarada and Sumire are both able to, like, connect, you know? And they're both able to, like, one, I guess that's why they're able to defeat Ada's charm. But was Boruto full of Otsutsuki at the time? I think so. It's kind of weird. That's weird, but we'll have to wait and see. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think about Sarada and Sumire finally being able to, like, be best friends again or finally be honest with each other. I think that it's good for their relationship right now, especially with Sumire withholding some intel or like some information that she could tell to Sarda, who can actually like fight and act on it and like spread, you know? Whereas I think Sarda was able to like help out Sumire with, I guess, protection or fighting together, I guess, you know? I don't know. And it also kind of makes me a little bit worried for Sumire or for whoever if, like, something happens. Yeah, overall, let me know what you guys think about Sarda and Sumire re-bonding, coming back together. Real girlhood, a real bond and a fun time where they're both able to, like, talk about their crush together, you know what I mean, and bond over that. I think that's really fun. So, hey, let me know what you guys thinking. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys all next time. Yeah.